I've been looking at quite a lot of videos just lately, trying to understand what's available on the internet to do with experiential psychology, cognitive behavior therapy, and understanding stress in campuses, universities, and also in business. Now, as you may know, my name's Graham Lamb. I'm a behavioral coach, amongst other things. I had a long career in advanced technology and so on. And I principally coach people who might be considered high achievers. Sometimes I coach them when they're stressed out to one extent or another and struggling. And in other cases, I coach them when their management perceives them to have fantastic potential and they want me to bring out as much as possible of their strengths so that they can tolerate high stress business situations and basically become a pool of competent fresh blood that they can send out and put in charge of businesses as they grow. Now, surprisingly, the pressures on a young person in university and the pressures on a senior manager with the potential of being put in charge of a whole organization are very, very similar. If you think about the stress and pressure on students, they are in a peer group of people, but they are measured individually and they're measured very regularly, maybe every few weeks, and they're graded and their grades are compared against their peer group. Now, that's a pretty ghastly situation to be in unless you're naturally competitive and enjoy that sort of thing. I think a lot of young people go to university in the hope of learning stuff. They don't really want to be thrown into a pit of competing people, rather like being sent out as a gladiator in a Roman arena and having to fight to the death to get the best grade and slaughter everybody else in terms of their grades are going to be higher than other people's grades.
In society, we are surrounded by competition. Businesses compete with each other. Countries compete with each other to the point sometimes of even going to war. But as an individual, you have to think very much about who are you competing with and why are you competing at all. And in most of adult life, it is far better to learn how to cooperate with the people around you and not compete, because if you want to be part of a team, then competing with other people in that team or in that company is just not going to be successful for you as an individual. You will have far more success if you use things like higher education to learn how to work with other people and how to cooperate with them and possibly how to lead them.
And also they're given a false expectation that if they do slaughter all the others and come out with the highest grade and then go off for a university in business, the business is going to welcome them through the door and say, wow, look, you've got all those fantastic grades. We really want you in our business. And the answer is they don't. They want people who go into that arena and rather like that movie Gladiator, I think it is, where the leader gets them all to work together against a common enemy. They want skills that are leadership skills of partnering with other people, of combining strengths. So that's in a way incompatible with being graded and being the best and so on. So that's a challenge that young people face. Now, when you're in business at senior level, business is about people. It's about cooperation and leadership. When people come together in a group, they go through a 4-step process. I think it's called the Tuckman process. It's forming as the group gets together, storming as they find out where their differences are. It's norming, where they align their different strengths together to make a strong team, and then it's a forming. Now, what employers want from young people when they sit across from them at interview is they want to see that those people have that attitude. Yes, they need good grades. That's, they need to show they have some level of intelligence. But the capability to work with other people is paramount within the minds of the potential employer. They want three particular areas of skill. They want to know people can manage themselves emotionally. They want to know they can work with others, possibly manage others, possibly lead a team, but at least participate in a team actively and add value. So it's manage self, manage others, and then it's about managing situations.
This video is about helping you understand the difference between competing as an individual, rather like throwing a discus in the Olympics or something, and competing within a team. And the focus for business is the game is about teamwork together so that your team beats the other team. You might think of it like football, playing against other teams in football. So the Tuckman process that I referred to a moment ago is an excellent way to understand what it's like when you join a new team and want to become effective. So it's the four-step process of forming, storming, norming, performing, which I have no need to repeat, but strongly recommend you understand it, because you will be in a team, and you may indeed be in several teams, and people will leave that team and new people will join it. And it's important to know how to handle that situation. Who's left, who's joined, and how has that changed your role within the team? Now, the other thing I've just referred to is the three environments that go on within your mind and your interpersonal relationships. And those three are managing yourself, managing other people, and managing situations. So we're now going to move on to particularly managing situations.
Now, to manage a situation, you need emotional intelligence and social intelligence, both for yourself to be able to manage, but also if you are going to lead, to manage other people. A situation is something when suddenly things change and everybody involved in that change has to respond accordingly. So, the purpose of this video is to help you understand that there are actually two types of people. I've not found anything on the web at all that explains this difference between the two types of people.
Let's do that in a second part, because this video is already 8 or 9 minutes long, and it's a bit of a mouthful to take in, isn't it? So we're going to cover the two fundamentally different types of people that you will encounter in a team or as the boss of that team. And you really need to understand the difference of those two types of people. So party on.